Hi, everyone. Welcome back for another edition of Barely Inbounds. I'm Sal Johnson. With me is Dave Senior. Hey, Dave.
Sal, we have a new world order in golf this weekend. We have a Swede winning the Players' Championship. That's never happened before. We've got less than a month after Angel Cabrera wins the Masters, another Argentine, Daniel Vancek, wins on the European Tour. We have a Korean TV company becoming a title sponsor for a PGA Tour event. Yet another American wins on the LPGA Tour. That's 4 times in 9 events this year. And John Daly finishes higher this weekend than Tiger Woods did.
It's just an incredible week. Now, the premier event on the PGA Tour is the Players' Championship, and it was won by a Swede, Henrik Stenson. And he just went it and put it in overdrive after making his first birdie on the 7th hole. He was 5 behind Alex Cejka, who just played terrible. Tiger Woods played terrible. Stenson came in, shot 66. Great round. What do you take of that?
Guys absolutely on cruise control all week. But I mean, you could sort of see this coming. I mean, this guy, he finished tied for 3rd at the British Open last year at Birkdale, teamed with Ollie Wilson and at the Ryder Cup and beat Phil Mickelson and Anthony Kim in foursomes. He won the World Cup with Robert Carlson. Was tied for 2nd at the Qatar Masters this year, 3rd in Dubai, 3rd in Houston. I mean, the guy obviously can play, as he showed us.
Well, and there's no two ways about it. One of his strong suits is driving the ball. He's the best driver of the ball anywhere. This week, he may have been just tied for 13th, 41 of 56 fairways hit, but over the weekend, he only missed 2 fairways. Greens hit, he was tied for 13th, 49 of 72, and he had a really great week with the putter. He made 51 of 51 putts from 5 feet in, shot a final round 66. Now, everybody's debating. Fred Couple shot 64 in 1996 to win the Players. Davis Love shot 64 in 2003. But, everybody's saying which round's better and things like that. I'll have to say Davis Love was probably better, but this wasn't that bad.
Well, this was textbook, and I mean, you got to look. This guy is an athlete. There's no question about it. He's a big guy. I mean, he only missed 1 fairway on Sunday, and he's hitting 3-wood most of the time. So he's powerful enough where he can hit 3-wood, put the ball in the right spots, which you have to do there, which Tiger Woods obviously was unable to do all week. He hit barely over half of his fairways on Sunday. He was just toast. I mean, there was no way he could score on that golf course.
Well, he shot 73. It's a lot of bad firsts for Tiger. First of all, in the final group, it was the highest. He shot 73. It tied for his highest round when playing in the final group. It's the first time that he's played in the final group that he didn't win since back in 2007 at the U.S. Open when Cabrera won. What do you take of Tiger?
Just give the guy time. I'm still, he hasn't finished out of the top 10 yet. It's the guy's, as I said last time we talked about this, he's no slouch. He's a little bit off. He's going to find it, I think. I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon of what's wrong with Tiger or whatever. It just, maybe if this continues for another 3 months or 4 months or so, but not buying it.
Well, I don't either. I think Tiger, it's just like 2005 when he said, hey, I'll get it together when he was redoing his swing. Now, one person that really came back strong was John Daly. Yeah, he was over in Europe. He was in Italy and things like that, but still finished 2nd. And, what do you take of JD's finish?
Pretty much all I'm going to say about it. He closed with a 66. He made 4 birdies down the stretch to pull into 2nd place in that tournament. Obviously, he's playing well. I think he's happy. I think he's got something. I think he sort of wants to stick it to the PGA Tour. He wants to show them that he can play. That they shouldn't have given him, put the suspension on him that they did. And it's a little kind of FU on this thing that I see with Daly, and it's not unlike what the Korean TV company sort of did to the LPGA, don't you think?
Well, you know what? It's kind of business wise a really not a very savvy thing what Carolyn Bivets did. She took the highest bidder, which was JTV, which is basically not a network in Korea but a cable outfit. And after a decade and a half of being on the LPGA, the SBS network, which is the equivalent of NBC, CBS, and ABC, weren't very happy. And what they basically did was they smiled at Carolyn, said thank you very much, and they went straight to Ty Vota and they said, hey Ty, would you like to do a little business? And Ty said sure. So him and Tim Fincham got together and the SBS became the new title sponsor of the Mercedes Championship, relieving Mercedes of that obligation. But the most important thing is it's going to keep that tournament in Hawaii for the next 10 years. That also is going to help because the Sony people, which is the week after, kind of indicated, well, if you move it away, we may not re-up and things like that. So, Tim Fincham just pulled this hat out of, it's a rabbit.
Rabbit out of his hat. That's
Absolutely.
what you're looking for. A rabbit out of his hat. On that.
And it's great. It's great for the PGA Tour. It's more things that, that Tim Fincham's signing up more sponsors in a very, bad time. So
and they extended that TV deal in Korea for 7 years too. So that's some good news there, but not such good news, I guess, at least in a lot of people's minds for the skins game, huh?
Well, it's RIP. Rest in peace. After all these years, the skins game is toast history, at least for this year. They say it's going to be brought back. Quite honestly,
that when I see it.
I'm not going to miss it. Are you?
No, not at all. I mean, this is an event that has run its course. I mean, yeah, it was unique back in the early '80s when you got Arnie and Jack and Tom Watson and Gary Player and guys like that. But now there's too much going on at that time of the year, and you've got to attract the marquee names, and they've got to be playing for big money if they even going to consider doing it. But if it's what comes first, the chicken or the egg? If you don't get the big names, you're not going to get the big money, and all the big money is over in Asia at that time of year now. I mean, you've got the HSBC Champions, the Hong Kong Open, the Singapore Open, the World Cup, the big Dubai tournament is coming right around then. You're not going to get any big players to play in the skins game.
Well, and then on top of that, I think that one of the big things is when they first came out, they played on this great golf course called Desert Highlands. They went to golf courses, including PGA West, that were really fabulous to watch and things like that. Now they go to these really boring golf courses in Palm Springs for the big money, and that's what it is all about. I want to see the skins game if it comes back. I want to see it go to South Africa. There's a great golf course on the water there, and I wanted to see it go to Kidnappers in New Zealand. All these great golf courses, Pebble Beach type of golf courses that'll be really great, And I think that they have to do that. Play on a great golf course in a scenic area, and they have to have the top players for the top money. So.
Well, come back to me. Come back to me in a couple of years on that one because it ain't gonna happen.
Okay. Hey, well, Dave, our time's up. Good to talk to you, and we'll be back in a couple of days for another Barely Inbounds.
Sayonara, Sal.